lines. And so when we get started, I want us to just jump in with an example, which is right here. And so if you notice in this example, it says that EO is parallel to LN. So EO is right here, and it's parallel to LN. Now it's really important when they give us that piece of information because essentially what happens is I have similar triangles. So with that thought of similar triangles in mind, I want you to just take a guess as to what you think y should be. Okay? So if I were to give you this problem and I said find the value of y, I want you to figure out what you think y should be. Now after you figure that out, I want you to go ahead and enter it into your expressions, and then we will go ahead and see how you all did. So like I said, just take a guess. What do you think y should be? Okay, let's go ahead and see what you all have.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yep. Okay, answer 45. Nice job. Okay, now this is basically what you're doing in this problem. All you're doing is writing a proportion. It's proportions. And so in this case, I'm going to do 36 over 48. So if you notice here, here's the 36 divided by the 48. And that's going to equal, in this case, y, which is opposite the 36, and 60, which is opposite the 48. And all I have to do is solve by cross multiplying. So I'm going to take 36 times 60. And when I do that, I get 2,160. And that's going to equal the other diagonal, which is 48y. Okay, so when I go ahead and divide by 48 on both sides, what do I get y to equal? What was it? 45. Now, is that the only proportion I could use to find y? So you can do, what did you say, Daniel?
48 over 60.
Okay.
And then 84
Over
36.
36 over y. I would probably do that one.
I was going to do the triangle.
Okay. Yeah, you could do the triangle. The problem is it gets a little iffy or a little sketchy here when you get just the y here. Okay. So anyway, let's go and look at this one. Find the value of x. So notice what they give me. EC is parallel to AB. So I want you to go ahead and find the value of x for me. Okay. Find the value of x. Now some of you are probably going to notice there's kind of a shortcut way just by looking at the diagram. And some of you might be able to type in the answer that way. Oh well. Answer is 24. Nice job. Okay. So 24. The easy way to do this is to look at the figure. You've got 8 here and 16 here. What's the relationship between the two? Yeah, okay, 8 is half of 16, or 16 is twice 8. Right? So you take 8 times 2, you get 16. 12 times 2 is 24. So that's the way you could look at it and get it. Otherwise, you could write your proportion. 8 over 16 equals 12 over x. All right, let's try another one. Notice here, once again, they say KH is parallel to FG. So I need you to find the value of x. Answer is 36. Nice job. Okay, once again, you could write a proportion 24 over 8 equals x over 12. That's one way. The other way is to say, 8 times 3 is 24, so 12 times 3 is what? All right, oops, I skipped one, sorry, we'll go back to this one. Find the value of x. They tell you that these two lines are parallel. Let's go. Find the value of x. And the answer is 36. Nice job. Okay, once again, this case you probably would have had to write a proportion. You could have done 45 over x equals 25 over 20. That's one way. Another proportion you could have written was 45 over 25. That's a 2, by the way. Equals x over 20. That's another way. Alrighty, very last one we're going to look at. Notice what this says. This has 3 lines. It says FT is parallel to LA, which is parallel to GR. Okay, so if the lines are parallel, the sides are in proportion. Okay, find the values of x and y. So let's first of all start with x. What would be a proportion I could use to find x? 21 over 35
42 over x.
equals 42 over x. What value of x do I get? 70. Okay, so that's how you find x. Now, what would be a proportion I could use to find y?
35.
Okay, I could do that. 35 over 28 equals 70 over y. That would work. Now, I would kind of caution you against not using this proportion, and this is why. If you get x wrong, what's it going to do to y? That's going to be wrong as well. What I would probably encourage you to do is use these two numbers up here. So in this case, we could do 21 over 28. So notice what I did. This number here over this number here is going to equal this number here over y. Okay, in this case, we did in fact get x right. Okay, so either one isn't going to matter, but I would really encourage you to do that so you don't get both of them wrong. Okay, what is y? 56. Okay, so questions? This is today's lesson. That's it. Okay, the plan for the week, since I'm going to be gone tomorrow, guys, the plan is you're going to have a quiz over pretty much kind of the last 2 sections, and you're also going to have a worksheet tomorrow over section 11.7. That finishes out chapter 11 for us, and so we're probably going to be looking at a test maybe next Tuesday, Monday-ish. Okay, so anyway, your assignment, page 627, 628, 1 through 11. Okay, 627 through 628, 1 through 11. Now, real quick, if you want to go to that page, I need to talk to you about 10 and 11. Okay, so on 10 and 11, actually it's just 11, I take that back, 11. On number 11, they ask you if the lines are parallel. Okay, so they're asking you if 2 specific lines are parallel. Can somebody tell me how I could tell if those lines are parallel with what I'm given in the problem? To see if the sides are in proportion, right. So what you're going to do on 11 is you're going to go ahead and, let's go ahead and start. You're going to take 25 and divide it by 40. You're going to see if that equals, is it 15 over 25? Right. And if that is the case, that will tell you that M is parallel to N. If this works, this would tell you if M is parallel to N. It has to come out even in order for that to work. Okay? Well, when I say even, they have to be equal. So you would do this diagonal, you would get a value, and then you would do this diagonal. If those come out the same, then you're correct and they are parallel. If they don't come out the same, they are not parallel. So 1 through 11, and that will be due Friday. Okay, start a class along with the worksheet you get tomorrow.